Babes, what's up? I was wrong. It's true. I was incorrect. The summons did not fail. In fact, it very much succeeded. But if you remember what I said for it succeeding in the problems that we would have, these problems are very present and are happening as we speak. Um, the power scaling is so far up in the air, I don't think anyone can even see it at this point. I don't know what to think about really anything, especially the five elders. Um, the chapter story that we're getting, the cover page, looks like it's just going to be a little adventure around Wano. I still do think that it's going to show us some things. I think that there's going to be some importance to that story for sure. Not even just the importance of Wano, but at the pace that we're going now, there's just going to be something that it shows us. And I think that there's been quite a while, like I said, since the last cover story, so this will be good. They all get summoned. It was not a boring chapter by any means. A lot happened. We did see their silhouettes, and for a second I was like, nope, and then immediately it was like, yep, we're going to show you all of them. Something I am happy with. There's things that I'm unhappy with. There's things that I'm happy with. I like the designs. I don't love them. I like the designs for the planets. I think that it's very mythical. I think that they look solid. Like when I see their lineup, I'll give them like a B minus. I'll give them a B minus. When we had like the full spread of like all of them, I felt it, but I didn't feel it as much as maybe I should have, but I did feel it. I was like, okay, they look solid. They're big. The thing that's kind of weird to me is Garcia, I guess, is the face of the operation. I guess, because they're all in this similar form, and you can tell that from their eyes. They have this like weird thing going on. And we saw that transformation with Garcia. But when they're all in this form, it seems like he's the only one with that, which I find interesting because some of these other creatures are like the face of a man and the body of a serpent, and it's like, well, that guy has the face of a cow, but that's just the face that he was born with, Jay Garcia. It's a solid lineup. I like the animals that we're seeing here. It's nothing like, oh, we got another dragon or we have a spiritual fox. It's like these guys are kind of like, my favorite I think is Gandhi at the moment. Just because he had the biggest showing too. He's going around showing some stuff off that he's seen. And I'm going to say it, and I'll say it. Swordsman in action. I've said it before. It's a good look for Mihawk. It's a good look for Mihawk. And the more I think about what's happening here, the more I'm like, it's a really good look for guys that we haven't seen yet. Maybe. It's so off. I don't even know what to think about it. But we'll get there. He goes up the coastline and they have a plan on the move right now. Gandhi is fucking lapping the coast and he's destroying all of the pacifistas, which were a huge problem. And obviously taking out a lot of their people. I don't know if that's something that he's just going to do and be like, I'm out. But probably not. I mean, they're here. They got to stop this. They have a plan in action and they're going for it right now. The serpent, I mixed them up. I got them lined up here. Another thing that I thought about was what happened before, like midway through this arc, and the importance of everything that we like learned, like learning like, oh, Gandhi's the warrior finance and like all that shit, which didn't seem super important, and really it's still not that important. But there was just so many little snippets that we just took for granted week by week, but they're huge because, for example, the Mother Flame. They talked about how they can't just fucking throw that out there. They're like, if we could use this whenever we wanted, we could take care of any conflict as soon as it arose. Like, we would just fucking destroy Egghead, but they're like, we can't, so I gotta fucking be on the ground and doing my thing. And Gandhi looks pissed about it. Whoever's the serpent bird one, it's either fucking the Sanji lookalike or the beard. I forget. Let's just go back and look. I'm trying to remember which one. It's the beard. Okay, so the beard man is the bird, and he looks like he's going for the stratum immediately. He's looking to get in there and cause some damage. I can't even really tell what he did. I don't know if, I think he like went and collided with it, but it looks like he broke through. And I don't know who's gonna deal with that. Somebody's gonna have to deal with it, and I'm not sure who. I think that they might pay Zoro back some respect because, I mean, it was almost a meme with him beating Lucci. It's just like, oh, Sanji said something and then he got in there, which of course I love their back and forth, their banter, and just kind of the relationship between those two, especially in terms of combat. But I was like, damn, they're going to do Lucci like that? Because I was like, yeah, Zoro is going to end this fight. He has to end this fight. He just beat up King. He can't be fucking messing around when shit's really going down. And so he ends him real quick. I think it was a solid-ish showing because he doesn't really seem to take any damage. He's just a little tired, and it's a good combative experience. Another big thing that you see when the 5 planets are all lined up is all the black smoke. Of course, we're seeing that to hint at, and I don't even know. It's like the dark evil devil fruit awakening, and I think that that was the point of Lucci being shown, is just to show this black smoke being what it is there. And then Luffy's white smoke is him being good, but it's kind of tough to say because he's the only one that we've seen with white smoke. There's a lot of black smoke around. But what that truly means, we'll learn a lot later, but we will learn. Zoro throws out a new attack that we've never seen, and then the sandworm swallows Luffy, and then Dory and Bragi come in. So Dory and Bragi were leading some giants to this battlefield, and we've known this whole time the giants are really important, giants are really strong. Everyone wants to have a little bit of giant lineage in them because it makes them that much more powerful. And these dudes are like the fucking dudes. So I said that they were power scaling well, and I know this attack really didn't do anything, but it just raises questions. I mean, we're just going to start to nitpick the living bejesus out of these planets, and I'm just like, it's just a bad look. I'm like, okay, so do they not have observation? They don't have hockey in general? They're just carried by their fruits and unlimited regeneration? And then where does that mean that, like, the admirals line up? And, like, what kind of special power do they have when they probably all come together? It's just strange. We haven't seen Mustache Man do anything, and I think we all thought that he's the leader. And I think a lot of these things are just going to be torn out, and it's going to like, nope. Because from what I saw, from what I see with all 5 of these guys coming out, is that they're all pretty even, which is not a good look because Saturn looks like shit right now. And if they're all kind of like the same, it's like, I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. I still am leaning towards the side of he is still the weakest. But for him being like the face of the operation, it's just not a good look. It's just not a good look. It's just not a good look. And the more we see of these guys, the more I'm like, Emu, these are your guys? Like, these are the dudes. Like, these have been your dudes for 800 fucking years? What do you mean? What do you mean? Dory and Bragi coming in? We'll see. I'm not 100% sure. I'm starting to think these boys are going to get cooked. I don't really think that, but it just feels that way. And it feels that way because I went back and I read some of the old in-between chapters with Emu and all the stuff that they were talking about. And I was like, maybe Emu, he's for sure that dude, but maybe he just gets his hands on all these weapons, the ancient weapons and just abilities, and he doesn't even really need these guys. And that he just becomes his own entity, but that doesn't add up for the final battle unless somebody is a turncoat like a Shanks or a Dragon, but that doesn't really make any sense either. And I'm just like, well, then where do all these guys fit in and how is it going to work? And we're going to Elbaf? We'll wait. We'll see. We don't have a break next week. I don't know what to think. And I know this attack is going to mean literally nothing, and then he's just going to recover, and they have this regeneration ability. But I'm like, I need to see some shit from you. Because now that they're here, that giant's waking up, and we have all the theories that he takes the ship and he leaves, who's fighting these guys? Because I think that guy just got into Labostratum, and Luffy isn't there. I guess Dory and Bragi are now in this conversation, aren't there? So is it Zoro? Is it Sanji? Is that something that we can just accept as like, oh, Zoro's fighting fucking the god of the warrior god of environment? Sure. Yeah, why not? Why not? Like, that makes sense. He's been power scaled. I'm like, but wasn't he just like going head to head with Lucci for a while? And then he got beat by a meme? I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated just because I don't know what this means in terms of like endgame and like what we're gonna see and how goofy it might become, and I don't know. I don't know what the foundation even is for this. I'm excited for next week's chapter. I think this was still a good chapter. I do like their forms. Like I said, there's just a lot of like interesting questions. I do like all their forms. Their forms are cool. I think Gandhi had a good showing, but if they formulated a plan, part of that plan has to be to stop the Straw Hats, and then the giant guy is going to come into play somehow, but we're going to have to wait and see. But now we just nitpick away at these fucking 5 elders and be like, nope, 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 nope. 2 things else that I was thinking about, and then I'll leave you. One, it appears, now this is kind of a loose one, it appears that the attack that Sabo took was from Emu himself. Because after looking at all these guys, I'm like, I don't think that was from really anyone else. Yes, they kind of all have tails. Yes, it's not even really that big of a deal, but I do think that it was from Emu himself. And the second one I have forgotten. Yeah, I forgot. But I would recommend going back and reading some of that in-between shit because it's kind of nuts. And it becomes more and more nuts the more we learn about this. And yeah. I also just finished reading Alabasta. That shit is fantastic. Fantastic. But that's beside the point. I'll see you guys next week. I hope you have a good weekend. See ya.